what movie do you really like a lot?
Well,
is there any that you watch
at the time?
Is there any that you watch all the time now? No.
40 years later.
Does anything make it? Well, let's talk about it.
I was gonna say.
Okay.
Save it for the show. Okay.
Save it for the show.
You sound sexy, Dave.
But now, you see how terrible I sound up here?
You do
terrible.
sound tinny.
Terrible.
You sound like the Tin Man.
You don't want to be strained.
I guess so.
It's silly.
No, it's like no.
No, I'm not feeling it. It's actually has that painful cringiness to it.
All right.
So
let's get something funny going.
Gotcha.
Ready? Here we go.
Sure. From Milwaukee, it's Movie Chatter.
Episode 84.
What's up, boys?
Kelly's here.
Not
Bill's
much.
here.
Hi, everybody.
You?
A full gamut.
Full gamut. Episode 84.
Damn it.
How you doing, Don?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. A little tired. Stayed up till 11:30 watching Avengers Endgame.
And that wouldn't be that late, except you have to get up at, what, 5 a.m.?
I'm in the fours.
Yuck.
Yep.
Dipping into the fours.
Gross, isn't it?
Yeah.
At 9 o'clock,
that's okay.
I pretty much just
I got good sleep.
go into like, I'm tired.
Comatose
Could you live without coffee?
No, absolutely not.
Hard no. I was up at 4 too, but then I went back to sleep for a little while with
See.
a little one on me.
There you
Still
go.
Works out.
Yeah. You're gonna get ready to do that more and more often.
I'm
Even
gonna,
less sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in that mode of like I'll sleep whenever I can for however long I can. Ugh, not looking forward to that, but
No.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's all part of the game.
I've had like 800 milligrams of caffeine already, and I'm
Really?
still a
Tired?
little groggy.
You
Two
worked-
huge
You
Dunkin'
worked hard.
Dunkin' Donut coffees got brought to work today with Dunkin' Donuts,
Yum.
and a
Nice.
240 Rockstar.
Ooh, nice. You
And
missed
still-
muffins. I brought muffins.
Oh,
Sorry.
It sounds to me like you have too high of a tolerance, Dave.
yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He's like,
No. Well, actually, we were. I
I'm
was.
gonna mainline that
I
shit.
was climbing ladders and jumping on things.
Dave is like, he does have it in powder form,
Yeah.
which is scary, you know, with access to straws.
we had one of the engineers show up today, and there he was like, we were like, well, can you do anything? Can you run a skid steer? Well, no.
Which engineer was that?
Paul.
Oh, okay.
And we said, can you go get us some donuts and coffee? I can do that.
Can you be useful? That's
And he
what
did.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Yeah,
what
it
a
was
nice
awesome.
guy.
It was awesome. So that.
I started the day by bringing in some muffins.
Oh.
You didn't even have to ask for them over in Lisbon.
Nice.
Dang
Just the
it.
kind of guy you are.
How about you, Bill? Wake up at 9?
No, I get up at 5:05.
Really?
There you go.
Even when you don't
That's
have to?
Pretty much the same
Well,
time.
I'm at the gym. Oh, today I slept late. 6.
Nice.
An extra hour is nice.
No, it really.
That's huge.
Yeah, because your body is used to going to bed at a certain time.
For sure.
And so now, I actually did wake up at 5, and you go, wait, it's Saturday.
I don't have to be up right
I'm
now.
going to bed.
Yeah, when I was like 18, I could sleep on the couch like 14 hours.
Yeah. Now I can't see. My body's so used to it. Like this morning, I was probably up more like 4:30. You know, I just automatically wake up.
Oh,
I
right.
can't get a lot of sleep. I mean, if I go to bed too early, I'll just be up at like 3.
You're programmed.
Yeah. I
Yep.
just need this. I just need a little bite. 5 or 6, maybe 7. If I get 7, I'm really good.
Oh, yeah. That's nice. Supposed to get 8.
Supposed to.
Supposed
But
to.
7 is close as you're going to get.
I heard
Yeah.
that actually only a certain percent of the population, which is like
Very low.
very low,
Yeah.
Get sufficient sleep.
right? And I heard that also only a tiny percent of the population literally can survive on 5 hours.
much sleep
5
as they
hours
get.
is less, right?
Mhm.
Right. Everybody else, it's actually causing like damage, like kind of like smoking. You know,
yeah,
like
it does.
very slow damage
Yes,
to your body.
It's like protein buildup in your brains. It has similar effects for like increased risk of heart disease and Alzheimer's.
8
and all
hours
kinds
is
of
what
stuff.
you need. 8
So I have to
hours.
be in what, a 5% group that it wouldn't affect me?
You're not.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
not.
in that group.
No,
You-
I'm just
gotta
gonna
get
assume that
more
I am.
Sleep.
That's okay.
You're fucked on.
It's
But
life.
you're
That's
up
all there
all
is to
night.
it.
You're up all night watching
But-
a movie.
You know what?
Yeah.
What
I
am I
mean,
gonna get?
maybe
Like, what am I
you
get? Like 2 extra years? I mean,
Yeah,
if I
right.
can't enjoy myself, I mean, you know,
That's Don's MO
yeah.
and Dan's as well. It's like eat well, work out, get hit by a bus.
Exactly.
You just never know.
You just never know.
Now,
You
my,
gotta enjoy life. If it means
Yeah,
a little bit less sleep, you know.
well, my job's a lot of research on you know the computer, and I got 3 computer monitors in front of me, and I'm
Oy,
researching and
I
stuff.
would just be asleep.
Well, I tell you, if I only get 5.5 hours sleep,
Mm.
I'm like,
Oh, I can see
and
that.
the next day I go back to the same issues that I couldn't figure out, and I go,
Oh,
oh, that's easy.
yeah.
Oh, there it is. What's the
Your
problem?
results suffer.
Bam.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
I get my work done like instead of 3 hours or whatever. It's a third of the time.
Yeah, I'm like
So,
that too. I'm
really, the
much
brain-
less efficient.
We need sleep for our brain to work.
Mhm.
For sure. It's true. It is true. I do feel a lot better when I get sleep.
Well, here it is.
I'm just so used to suffering without it.
1:30 on a hot
Like
summer
moms.
day here.
Yeah.
We're all awake.
Yeah, yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Kinda.
Yeah.
You guys just got off of
Somewhere in
work.
that gamut.
Mhm.
All right, so
1984,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides
I'm
that,
excited.
episode 84.
I graduated from high school in 1984.
Nice.
You had last week. Now I get this week.
Yeah, this is your year.
Yeah,
This
so
is
I
your
was right in
year.
that zone of your life
40 years ago.
when all of these movies are really like, you know.
How about the music?
Influential.
Even though
Influential.
I goofed up the music so we don't have music for it, but When Doves Cry, #1
Yes.
song.
Such an excellent song.
There's so
Sure.
much. Footloose, Jump from Van Halen, 1984.
Nice. Excellent. Sure.
Cyndi Lauper.
Oh yeah, love Cyndi
Girls
Lauper.
just want to have fun.
I mean, every song.
It's a
Is
cliche
crazy.
decade now. I mean, it's
It
the
is.
80s. It's the 80s. You are in the heart of the 80s. when you are
99
looking at 84.
Luftballons.
All right, so if you're
99
not
Luftballons.
listening to us and you're not at least, let's say, 45, you probably have.
Oh,
You know,
I hear music.
Oh, I have one song here.
Phil Collins.
nice.
Love that.
Against all
You were
odds.
gonna say if you're not
Yeah.
older like that, you're not. It's like
He's-
history.
Yeah.
Although I don't know because I'm maybe
You're a
I'm a little bit
youngster.
unique. I mean, these are the movies starting to be like the ones that I watched repeatedly growing up. They were
Right.
the ones that were on constant rotation, like that
Yeah.
we got from the library
They
every
would
week.
be right.
You
'cause
know
these
what I
are-
mean?
mhm.
So I mean, I was a kid for these movies. I was in utero when this came out.
These
but-
are those movies that I thought
Okay.
were the best ever. I mean, they're not.
Yeah.
Right. No,
but
they're
at the
not.
time I did.
Right. That's almost what I'd like to say is that I didn't know any better on
Right.
on this rotation of movies. So
Yeah.
some of them I still love, maybe more than I even should, but it's because of the time when you're exposed, right?
All right,
Yeah,
what
there's
are
a
we
lot
talking?
to
We're
do.
talking Indiana Jones.
Yes, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. We watched that a million times. The Karate Kid,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters,
Terminator.
Gremlins. I just watched Terminator. I caught the end of it.
I just watched
Did
it
you?
too. I watched
Nice.
it because I don't know if it was Nick, possibly on his show.
Mhm.
Somebody was talking
Mentioned
about
it.
it, and they
like
were
it.
talking about the soundtrack.
Oh.
That it's crap.
Oh.
You know, it was like done on a cat. Oh, you know, it might have been Kevin Smith, and they said it.
The
it was-
quality is really bad.
well, I mean, all the music is
The
basically
technical
done on like a
effects
Casio keyboard. You
Okay.
know, compared to
Oh,
T2,
sure.
which they
Okay.
upped it with
Sure.
you know real
Had
music,
some
but
production value.
Interesting.
Guns N' Roses and hits that they paid
yeah,
money for.
yeah, Terminator isn't as good as T2.
No, and when I went back and watched it again recently, I didn't remember how awful some of the effects were. Like just even him walking around the robot. I mean, it's like a cheesy Disney ride is how bad
Yeah,
it looks.
right.
And I mean, I understand some limitations for budget and just tools in your bag at the time, but it was pretty terrible. I was like, I don't remember it being this bad, but still holds up as kind of a classic. You know what I mean? Not one that I'd keep in my current rotation now.
Any that really jump out at you that are still fantastic today? I only have one.
What?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think.
You like that?
Boy, I mean, you know, Johnny Depp being ripped apart on that bed.
Right.
That's
as far as slasher movies, it's definitely a classic.
It's still pretty creepy.
Right, and it was kind of the beginning of when they made those like really pretty gory.
It's the start of an era.
Mm-hmm. Before that, you didn't really have quite so much blood and guts.
I have a really good memory of it because I saw it about a year late because I was in the Army and I remember wait a line all the way around a movie theater to get in there.
Really?
Well, I saw it and it was full crowd. I mean, you know, elbow to elbow, and it was scary.
There's movies that come up in this list, and then from this time that I used to watch all the time, and when I see them again now, I'm like, oh, I want to watch that again. It's been 20 years plus at least, but like Romancing the Stone is another one that I used to watch all the time.
That was actually
Michael Douglas.
It was a high-grossing movie that year.
Yeah.
In the top 10.
And even Splash with Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah.
It's like a classic from that year. It's something that you wouldn't watch repetitively, but it's good to go back to.
But when it comes up, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I haven't seen that in forever.
Exactly.
A couple ones you guys missed mentioning for 82 and 83, like Cujo.
We mentioned it.
Did you?
Just briefly, I think.
And then like
you gotta listen to the show.
I did listen to the show.
Okay.
I took notes even.
Okay.
But like some things that you guys wouldn't think to mention now, but it's cool for me to think about is kids movies that would come up now that I might want to share with my kids.
Yeah. What were there back in that year?
Secret of Nim.
Secret of Nim.
Yeah, The Last Unicorn is another one that I just used to watch the shit out of over and over and over again.
The Last Unicorn. I don't remember that.
I don't know if I recall that.
Kenny Loggins did the theme song. It was good stuff. Yeah.
It wasn't animated, was it?
Yes, that one's animated, and so is Secret of Nim. But then even The Muppets Take Manhattan came out in '84. That's a good one.
See, now that I would have seen.
Yeah, yeah. But it's lots of good stuff. Beverly Hills Cop.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah.
I don't think that would play today.
I think it's very dated.
No, a lot of these are so politically incorrect.
Right.
You couldn't get away with a lot of stuff now.
Sure.
You know which one I like?
What's that?
And of course, I love Terminator and Nightmare on Elm Street. Dune. We didn't talk about Dune quite.
Don't really love that.
No? Okay.
No.
A lot of money.
Which one do you love, though?
I thought Starman might still work today.
Ooh.
Because
Jeff Bridges.
Not a lot of special effects.
Right.
Mostly a drama.
First contact movie.
Right. So remember, Karen Allen, her husband dies. This guy, Starman, takes the identity of her husband and just becomes him. And now he's in her living room. And that whole interaction between those two and how Jeff Bridges pulled it off. I mean, it could almost be a play. It was really good. But
I think I've only seen it like once.
I'd say that
I've
would be
seen
one
that once, but it's been a long time.
It's a good movie, though.
I want to revisit it.
The Never-Ending Story. Is that something that you would like?
Oh. Yep, it's on my list.
You like the puppets, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that giant flying
Falcor.
dog guy?
Yeah, he's like a dog dragon.
Yeah, dog dragon. There you go.
I used to want one. I mean, who didn't?
Who
when
wouldn't?
you were a kid watching this.
Loved watching.
Footloose.
Yep.
Footloose.
Footloose is
It's a classic.
Absolute classic.
At the time, I thought that was just
Kevin Bacon.
so good.
You know, if you've never seen these movies, you would of course recommend them.
Right.
You know, they're fun movies.
Footloose is timeless.
Yeah.
I mean, even at that time, it was a kind of a flashback movie, right?
A little bit, right.
I don't remember the era it was in, but they were banning dancing in the area.
Right.
But these kids were going to dance anyway.
Go to a barn somewhere and
Yeah.
dance in the dirt.
And I love looking back at movies like that when you thought it was super cool at the time,
Right.
and then now you look back and they're kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
it's like you're cringing practically.
you're like, you're actually a terrible dancer, Kevin Bacon. But no, just kidding.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
but it was wholesome. You could probably show your kids that one.
absolutely.
You were still watching like Grease, and now you have Footloose. You're next.
Scarface. That's a movie from 1984.
No. 83.
I thought it was
83 as well.
Yeah, I had
You
that
got a
83.
terrible
God.
list over there.
No, I
Don.
keep forgetting to look at the name.
Children of the Corn, not that good. Has a good reputation, but no.
It's got a good name. It's a franchise by now.
creepy.
Right?
Yeah, it kind of became a cult classic. I
Yeah.
feel like movies that are cult classics get a pass on something.
Who was the lead in that? The woman.
In which one?
Spacek?
No, I don't think so.
She also did. She did a bunch of other scary movies. Children of the Corn.
I don't remember offhand. It's been too long since I've seen it.
Yeah, I remember like.
Linda Hamilton.
Oh, it was Linda Hamilton.
really?
Okay,
Yeah.
Wow, so that was her second one of that year because she was also the star of Terminator.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in love with her. Man,
She was so
gorgeous.
young and fresh
Yes.
then. When I just watched that the other day, I was like, man, look at you, Linda.
Yeah.
Cannonball Run
Really?
2, 1984.
Is that any good?
I just watched Cannonball Run 1
Oh.
a couple days ago,
Oh, really?
and
Was it hard to get through?
very tough. Very
Isn't
tough.
Dom DeLuise in some
Yeah,
of those?
just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
They were cranking them out.
But I mean, I remember rushing to the theater to
Yeah.
see Cannonball Run 2.
That's why we always thought we could make movies because we were like, these are so shitty. I mean, we could
Like,
do
This
this.
can't
Could
be
do
that
this.
hard.
We did like the horror movies.
How about Body Double?
That was a great one.
Yeah,
Body Double?
Brian
it's a
De
worthy
Palma.
mention from the list.
I loved it. I watched
Melanie
it.
Griffith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good.
Did we
The
talk
mystery?
about Ghostbusters?
Yeah, Ghostbusters I
We
mentioned.
didn't.
I think it's over.
$229 million, I think it made.
Wow.
I think it's
Turtles.
overdone to me.
Overrated.
Overrated. I never really liked Ghostbusters.
Well, it's a classic.
Okay.
It's another one that's
It
a
is a
classic.
classic.
I mean, it spawned now another version.
I really like several more versions.
Mhm.
Really.
Aykroyd.
Well, and now,
It became a franchise,
with
kind
the
of.
whole...
Murray.
Would you
Melissa
watch it
McCarthy
again? Would
version.
you watch it again?
Would I watch it again?
And what-
If it's on, I'll watch
Yes.
it occasionally.
Any one of
It's
these
fun.
movies are like, if you're cruising through cable in a hotel room, you'd be like, oh, Ghostbusters. I've
Okay.
never seen this in forever.
yeah.
I'll watch it.
But would you watch it in my new
Like,
terminology?
make a movie night of it.
Right. Like I told Don, no cell phone, popcorn. You're watching TV. Cell phone has to be
not
off.
likely.
You know,
There's no way.
Today
I wouldn't
it's a little
dodge
bit
the
too
plans.
PG.
Yeah.
I
What's
think
that?
it might be a little bit too PG, maybe. You know, they're capturing
Yeah.
ghosts.
Well, I don't think
Yeah.
it would keep your attention. I don't think
It's got a lot of good people in it.
Yes.
Bill Murray,
I love
Sigourney
Bill
Weaver,
Murray.
Dan Aykroyd,
Yeah,
Harold Ramis, who also wrote it,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Annie Potts,
And Ghostbusters 2
Pepper Potts.
was good too.
Rick
But yeah.
Moranis. Which one?
Oh, he was good.
I love Sigourney
Ghostbusters 2.
Weaver, and yeah, well, we haven't gotten to Ghostbusters 2 yet, but it was successful enough that it had a successful sequel.
Right.
yeah.
And then another
Yeah.
one, and they got
Mhm.
worse or
They-
whatever.
They always get
but-
worse.
I mean,
But
for
it
the
was a
time, it
classic.
was great.
Mhm,
Right.
Absolutely.
And what about the special effects from Ghostbusters?
It's funny because that's another one where I remember thinking when I was a kid
Mhm.
that like dog demon creature was
Okay.
terrifying.
Sure.
It was like really scary,
Yeah.
and now you look back and it's like claymation. You
Right.
know what I mean?
What about that green guy who's like he's kind of funny
Slimer?
looking? Yeah, the
Yeah.
Slimer
I
guy.
got slimed.
You know.
Yeah.
And even their like the rays that come out from their guns.
Right.
I mean,
It's so
Don't
cheesy.
cross the.
it's like almost like classic. It's like a classic level. It's
Yes.
pretty good. It's like real special effects, but by today's standards, you can like it's so totally noticeable.
Well, people
Right.
use it for a standard now. If a
Mm.
movie has bad special effects, they say
Right.
it's
Oh,
like
it's like-
Ghostbusters effects. You know.
Sure.
Exactly.
Sure.
But in a way, it's kind of fun just because it's a classic.
I mean, if we were doing,
It'll always be.
if our YouTube videos had Ghostbuster
Level
effects,
graphics.
I mean, we would be asking for money.
I think this is
Exactly.
a classic that if your kids are 12 years old, you could play it for them, and
Oh,
they
right.
should probably
Yes.
see it.
Yes.
But for us, you know,
Lauren-
it's different stuff.
The
Keep
marshmallow giant at the end.
Yeah, I love that.
He's in there.
And it's got its funny moments. So
It
you,
does.
as the parent, watching
Yeah.
your
Yes.
kids or your
And if you're
grandkids-
really
I have
if you're
those.
really young though, I mean, speaking of like ones you can watch with your kids, you would be a little scared, you know.
Right?
Some of that possession kind of stuff that goes on
Mhm.
with Sigourney Weaver and all that.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
about it a franchise. Yeah, there was Ghostbusters 2, and they just recently another one with McCarthy. But Nightmare on Elm Street put New Line Cinema.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they are still
Is that right?
using the money that they banked on Nightmare on Elm Street. I think there was 5 or 6 of them.
Dave, you like that one?
I love it.
It's probably one
Also
of my
classic.
favorites.
You know, the first one is really good to me.
That too.
Terrifying.
That was like sleepovers and watching that, and then everybody being like too scared to go to sleep, but not, you didn't want.
Well,
to
it was like
admit
it was so revolutionary at the time.
Very gory, very R.
Mm-hmm.
It was R-rated, right?
Now
I mean,
wouldn't
you were
even
just
have it,
getting into
really.
having, your Jasons. There wasn't anything like that. You had
Right.
Frankenstein before that.
Right.
So now you have
It's a whole.
Freddy Krueger.
Right. And by today's standards, not the blood wasn't all that much back then, but it was just so new, like you're saying, that it was kind of shocking.
I would definitely use my popcorn, no cell phone, and watch a great Blu-ray copy
Oh, yeah?
of Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, that would be fun.
Okay, well
Sure.
there's yours.
You want to come over and do that?
Maybe closer to Halloween.
Okay. Well, we're going to be watching Midsommar
Yeah.
downstairs.
Did we talk about that one?
Well, I mentioned it, but Gremlins is another one that I used to watch all the time, and it's funny that I don't remember it as a horror movie necessarily.
No, I've heard it called a black comedy.
Sure.
Kind of, because it's
Yeah.
it's kind of scary.
Horror for like a, if Mason was watching it, he might
Sure,
get scared.
sure. And that's another
True.
one that I remember
Right.
certain parts being like pretty freaky, like as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, when they
But-
when they turned scary. I mean, they were little cute guys, and then they
And then they were like,
the Mogwai.
Mogwai? What's that?
That's
So
what they were.
good.
That's what the little creature was called.
Oh.
The strange creature in that show. And then a
Well,
lot of
good
it was
stuff.
practical puppets, so that was cool too.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? There
I
was
think-
no special
I think it
effects.
was good because at the time there wasn't HD 4K. You watch that now,
Uh-huh.
and you would probably be appalled at what they look like.
Right, exactly. That is the beauty of low definition.
Now let me tell you
Kind
something.
of blurs everything.
Can I
makes
just
it
go
look-
way off the subject real
makes it
quick?
look better.
all right.
I was just watching on 4K, really good display, I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And
did it look
I was
amazing?
shocking. It was shocking how well that was shot.
Hmm.
Where
Oh.
it looked like it was in really good quality. I was shocked.
That's interesting.
Barbara Eden
Nice.
is gorgeous. I mean, beyond.
I Dream of
Has
Jeannie.
that
Come on.
been touched
We
up
were
a little?
dreaming
Is
of
it
I mean, she's
remastered?
like
I don't
no,
think it has. I don't think so.
no. I mean, who's
I can see that. It's just, it was on film back then. Just good
Once Upon a
quality
Time in
film.
Hollywood? The girl.
Sharon
Who are we
Tate.
talking about? Sharon Tate?
No,
Yeah.
the actress.
The actress?
Margot Robbie?
Margot Robbie. I mean, she's Margot Robbie of the time.
Oh, for sure.
Ah.
Sure.
Even
Barbara
I
Eden.
don't remember her
Yeah.
being so beautiful.
Beautiful.
I mean,
Was
unbelievable.
your episode like a black and white episode?
No, it was
Color?
color episode.
Okay.
Shocking.
Still, that's like mid 60s.
I was like,
She could still make my dreams come true.
whoa, Lord,
Yeah.
Lord. So sorry about that, but yeah, the
Special effects and
that's
the
the
quality of
thing,
stuff.
right?
Puppets.
I Dream of Jeannie. It's just you know, when you saw the sets, they looked terrible.
Mhm.
But they shot it very, very clear. So Gremlins, I'm sure you can get puppets and
I
see.
think also
Yeah.
because
I
at the
haven't
time
seen
you
it.
didn't know any better. You didn't,
Right.
now we're a little bit lazy when it comes to using our imagination. You
Yeah.
expect everything to be immediately believable to your
Right.
vision. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, special effects had to develop. They couldn't
Mm-hmm.
immediately be perfect. That's what we had back then was puppets.
Well, like Alien, they redid that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's,
I listened to the director,
Yeah.
and it was because some effects did not look good in
no.
To
our
the point,
current HD.
right,
right.
and to the point where they would take you completely out of the story.
Exactly.
Right, if it looks too terrible or fake, they have to do something, blur it or
Right.
whatever to
Which
make
is
it
totally what happened for me watching Terminator. I was like, ooh, gosh, that's just like a really fake,
look. I want to see
too obvious.
T2 though.
holographic,
Ah.
I
you know.
really, I
Yeah.
really want to see T2.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm.
T2
That
also
was
just
supposed-
had good old fashioned, real,
I don't know,
special
action.
effects of the, a truck breaking through a wall and landing on a.
True.
I mean, those were
but it also had
that
that liquid guy. That was the first.
yeah.
The CG. It was a lot of CG.
That's right. Yeah.
Mr. Mercury.
CGI.
Mercury Man.
Yeah. You know that Gremlins spawned the PG-13 rating.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it was
because
too
it had a little bit of violence in it.
Really?
And
rough to be PG.
Steven Spielberg kind of, helped that go to a PG-13 because he also got shit for Temple of Doom. That same, Indiana Jones, because it had a little bit of violence, but it's not really R-rated.
Oh,
and that's when they went from.
I
Okay.
don't
the
know
first
if you
movie.
guys mentioned from '82 was E.T.
We didn't talk a lot about
Yeah,
it.
did not
I was
talk
gonna
about
say
it.
there was
It's
a
a
couple
huge
that I was,
movie.
yeah, really big.
Yeah.
Also, maybe might some of the effects come out a little bit cheesy.
We
at this
love-
time,
Yeah.
but it's so classic.
Yeah,
Totally.
we
Yeah,
watched.
never
Not that she loved
E.T.
loves, not loved, E.T.
Yeah,
and
It's a classic.
haven't watched it for a long time.
you could probably find a good remastered copy of that too.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
It's
I'm-
been redone,
Any others?
retouched.
No. So, what's your favorite of 1984?
Probably
If any. Any watch?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
All right.
Most rewatchable or Body Double.
Oh, Body Double. Okay. Don?
I don't really have one, I guess.
It's your year. You were too busy doing homework, right?
Yeah,
Trying to graduate.
Kelly? Never
I mean,
Ending
I would
Story?
say Ghostbusters, I guess.
Okay, Ghostbusters.
I would actually go with Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I'd almost have to go with a top 5. But ones that I want to rewatch right now the most,
Yeah.
Romancing the Stone.
Oh.
I want to pop that in and watch it again because I remember
Michael
it,
Douglas,
Yeah,
right?
I just
Who's,
remember it being so fun and
Do you know what the female actress is?
with the deep voice. I want to say
Yeah.
Catherine something. No, I'm gonna need to
I
know.
can't.
Turner?
I'll find it.
Kathleen Turner.
No, she might be Indiana Jones.
Let's wait.
I got you. Kathleen Turner. You're right.
There you go. I
All
thought
right.
so. I thought
Good
so.
job, Dave.
Get the
Danny
winner.
DeVito's in there too.
And if you saw that on video, you knew that I just got that off the top of my head.
That's right.
You did. Dave got
No
it.
cheating.
Ding ding ding.
Computer's right here.
All right, and I'd say Starman.
Oh, good choice.
Yeah,
We
just
didn't mention 16 Candles or Spinal Tap either.
Ooh,
Those are
16
two up there.
Candles.
Ooh,
Classic.
944
Keep it going.
Classics.
944 Porsche.
we're still saying turn it up to 11.
We're
Yes,
still-
right?
right?
I mean, classic.
I guess if there's any catchphrase from any of these movies, that would be the one.
But is it very good? Is
But
the
I
whole
still
movie
use-
good? Spinal Tap.
It's kind of one of those quirky classics. What do you think, Bill?
I think you almost have to watch it just because people keep talking about it.
Right. I don't know that it would hold my full attention for the duration of the
Yeah,
movie. for a
it's
full
not
movie
that
night.
good of a movie,
Right.
but it's
If it's on, I think
A
I've
classic.
occasionally left it on for a little while.
Has Zach ever watched it?
No.
You know these young kids now that are into our rock and roll. They
Right.
might be interested. Spinal Tap might be a funny movie for them.
Right?
Maybe.
Give them a shot. Say, Zach, here's a copy of Spinal Tap.
You probably
I
won't
think
watch
you'll
it.
love
What
Yeah.
you been watching,
Like,
Don?
no
Anything
thanks.
great besides Infinity War? Any little
No.
Korean lady cooking shows or anything like that?
I watched a cooking show,
Fold
actually.
closing?
Fold closing?
Close folding.
I knew what you meant. Yeah.
No, not really. I have not been watching much. I've just been watching what's ever on. And that for us was like, I don't know, some sort of Top Chef Junior show.
Oh, I don't like those.
The one with Gordon Ramsay. What's
What,
his
and it's
shows?
Like kids or something?
Yeah, it was kids. Like 10 to
I
13.
really don't like those.
Mhm.
I actually don't like those at all. The kids are
Sounds like you despise
like
them.
they're really overacting. Like these
Yeah.
kids are really trying to be an adult. I'm 8, but I really
It's
know
weird.
what I want to do.
It's weird. It almost
Shut
seems,
up.
it almost
No,
seems
you don't.
fake.
No. If you're under
You don't know
30,
anything.
if you're under 30, you have no idea what you want.
I don't know. Some of these kids, I mean, I question whether or not it was even like real because they cook so well. You know, there's like this 10-year-old and a 12-year-old and
Oh,
a
yeah.
13-year-old,
Oh, yeah.
and they're cooking this really sophisticated, like prosciutto wrapped, chicken breast stuffed with a marmalade or something like
I
that.
think it's possible to have that great of a passion for something at that young of an age, but you have to wonder if it's a little bit been guided.
I think so. I think
like-
these are the kids that would
Misguided.
also be maybe
Or that.
actors It also would, that maybe they have an agent, and it's just to get on,
Or it's just as much your parents' dream as yours.
Exactly.
And you kind of.
Right.
I feel bad, like, for a kid who didn't get exposed to anything else because they got too specialized or focused on something too early in life.
Right,
and
just
then,
kind of.
You might have missed your calling because you decided what you wanted to do with the rest of your life when you're 8.
I know. How can you imagine?
Insane.
Some of these kids, though, they look like they probably will stick with it, and you wonder.
Well, when you're that good at something that young.
When they're like 40, they're gonna be like, "I've been doing this."
You can slide over just a hair. You're like right in that point. It's unbelievable that
she's at the point of our square table.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
You should cut that
with
off
the pregnant belly. I know you should.
Right?
Actually, you should indent this corner for me right now so that I have like a belly spot.
That's too funny.
I am gonna make it an
funny.
entirely new table. We're getting a new table.
Nice.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
Are we gonna really do the under the table?
This table
monitors?
is gonna be so high tech.
Wow. That
It's
would be
gonna
really
be
cool. That would be cool.
freaky. You won't even be able to hear us anymore. How about you, Kelly? You been watching anything great?
So I watched Alita Battle Angel.
Ooh.
So I finally caught that for the first time, which it was
Oh.
definitely awesome. I'm sorry I missed that show because I watched like everything you guys were talking about. But I agree the bar scene was probably my favorite. Like
Definitely.
just so subtle and nonchalant
Oh.
about how badass she was. Like that was awesome.
Yeah.
I agree there was like a little strain of maybe simplicity, or I think the word you used was juvenile to the plot.
Right.
Okay.
I think it was also a little bit subject to so much hype from you guys.
Okay.
Because I was expecting it to be like
Had to be
phenomenal.
awesome.
So it was really,
Expectations
really good. But yeah,
make a
sometimes
difference.
those expectations kind
They
of mess with you.
It's better to go in with low expectations if you want to like
Right.
a movie.
Yep,
You know.
absolutely. But
I just rewatched it and I was
It's fun.
still like almost choking up how real she was.
Yeah.
You know?
the special effects are phenomenal.
Very cool, very cool. It's still the whole rollerball thing.
I didn't like
to
that.
me is the weakness.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
But it's got a
It
nice
doesn't
little
necessarily fit in with the rest of the feeling of the
right.
plot,
And what do you
sort
think
of.
about like her boyfriend that really ends up having a pivotal scene, at the very end where
Right.
she drops him
Yeah,
to his
and
death.
it was almost like
Do you think that he was cheesy or was
it felt a little bit at parts like injected emotion. Like
Yeah.
it didn't happen organically necessarily.
I liked it between her, like not father, but the
Mm-hmm.
relationship between Alita and Christopher Waltz. I forget his character name.
Right.
I didn't
do
like Jennifer Connelly.
Oh,
Her thing in her
Yeah.
the
forehead.
like heart bindy.
that distracted me. I didn't like it, and it distracted me every time. And I love Jennifer Connelly.
I do too.
And
It is odd.
And I did not like that choice. But the movie's still so good.
Still pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. It's a poster's going up in this room.
Yeah.
Of Alita Battle Angel when I can afford it.
And
I watched it several times recently.
I love it.
We could come back to see the second one and find it even better too. Because
I hope so.
clearly,
If they
soft
make
toss
one.
that up. I mean, it's there. It's
They
ready.
do. But
Well,
it
when
didn't
you
do
watch-
well enough to really guarantee it. That's what
Right,
people are
right.
saying.
I
But
think
it's
he's
got.
putting his time into the next Avatar.
Yeah.
Aren't those done by now?
James Cameron.
Right. It was very interesting with the extra features for Alita, where they were talking
I still
about
haven't
where
watched a lot of those.
all the technology that you saw in Avatar and all that, everything was. Alita was always number one, and they were going to do Avatar.
After.
Avatar
it was a flip
originally.
of a coin, what I heard.
It was a flip of a coin, and Avatar originally, right from the bat, was going to be like we'll do Avatar to prepare for Alita,
Yeah.
and then it kind of got flipped around.
I'm glad they did it that way.
Yeah, well, and he even waited quite a few years to do Avatar. I know I've listened to interviews with James Cameron. It's kind of one of his passions, working on the uncanny valley, with humanoid
Right.
creatures and whatever. But he had dreamt all of these plot lines and effects 20 years prior, and
Right.
he's been patiently waiting for technology to catch up with his
Yeah.
vision.
You hear that a lot with these guys.
I
that
imagine
have these
the
visions.
next Avatars are going to be.
I want to go to the Avatar world at Disney.
Ooh.
You were there,
Like
weren't
you
you?
can
Though?
fly
I was-
one of the dragons.
I
and
was
stuff.
there as well.
Mind blowing.
Oh.
Now
I
there
didn't-
was a 6-hour wait to go on this
Oh man.
ride.
The little
where
boat?
You're basic. Right. That was only a 3-hour wait, and we actually And as the day went on, and we have
You got a speed pass
car,
then.
as
Got
I
your
have speed pass.
It's not worth
But
going
at the
there.
beginning of the day, I wasn't going to wait that long. There's so many other things to do there.
But it's super cool.
This ride is amazing. So you're on what looks like kind of like a motorcycle and a crotch rocket because you're kind of bent down.
Right.
Well, that turns into you're on a flying dragon.
Yeah.
See, and it would move up
Exactly
and down
what I'm
and
talking
like
about.
this while you're watching this huge screen. There's about 18 of them in a row. If you look to the right, all these people are on these moving horses, right?
Probably felt exactly like it was
Oh
real.
my God, it was just
Talk
worth
virtual reality.
Oh
huh?
God, yeah. I mean, you would be flying underneath a wave of water, okay, and then now you're under this wave. You can feel the curl, and you're on the horse.
And are you getting spritzed with real water?
Oh, that would be
'Cause
great.
they throw in those things a lot.
They do.
You
That
almost
was
feel like it.
at least
There's
a mister.
whale popping up, and then the whale spritzes some water, but you just miss it, and you're going through the trees, and you
Nice.
really felt like you were moving. It would be
That's awesome.
worth it to go there just for that one ride. But there's
Wow.
plenty of other things to do because they've changed the entire landscape. They actually have floating clouds. You know,
Right.
those floating
They're not clouds. They're rocks.
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually have them so they look like they're floating
They
in the
really
sky.
do. Yeah.
Where
that,
is
that
this
is
at?
best to go to
Florida, Disney World,
Animal
right?
Kingdom,
Okay.
right next to Animal Kingdom. It's
Disney
one-
World.
Disney.
Epcot? Oh.
Oh, it is Disney World.
Yeah, it's
Disney.
one of the. You know, you can go to like Animal Kingdom.
Well, I heard that the
Epcot's still
new
one of them,
Star
isn't it?
Wars,
It is. Yes.
Epcot.
We
the
went
new
to that
Star
one.
Wars area.
That's in
at-
California, I think. No.
no, they're at both.
They're at both. Yeah, but the biggest. I think the.
World in Florida is big.
Anyways, what we're gonna
But I
say.
Right.
heard that the Star Wars area is so popular that it actually has dropped the.
Attendance.
Oh,
other
yeah.
Everything else has.
I
You know,
remember
you can
hearing
get on
that.
these rides now much easier.
Oh, that's
because
interesting.
everyone is going to.
Noticeably
That's
lower crowd
Noticeably lower.
volume.
But back to that Avatar display, whatever. You got to go at night. You got to go at night
Oh.
because it's so much different. I mean, because then everything is
Yeah.
all that translucent stuff from the movie.
Were you there
Oh,
too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. Yeah. I went with Anne and.
Because I remember being mesmerized by that even in the movie, like seeing
Yeah.
it in IMAX. Like it was just, it's magical.
Yeah,
so,
and they even have the big footprints in like fluorescent on the of the dudes. You know, their footprints are like this big.
Uh-huh.
Someday they'll make a
cool.
Godzilla
Cool.
world. I hope.
That's-
Or you could get
keep
stepped on.
hoping.
Get stepped on. Ah!
Right.
Anything else you've been watching?
The Boys also. So I'm into the third episode now, and
Nice.
that, you know, for anybody who is not watching it yet, you should. It's really
Where are you
good.
at? I'm only at.
let's-
I'm in the third episode.
Let's
I'm
get a
not
status
through the
update.
third episode. So
Third episode.
Yeah.
You've seen it
you're,
all.
You're through
Whole
the whole
thing,
thing.
yeah.
I'm
You
whole
have
thing.
two, right?
You-
4.
Okay, so you're the least.
Yeah, I love Elizabeth Shue. She's like she's on my, you know, kind of poll of actors anyway. She's an
Yeah,
all-time
yeah.
favorite, and her like
I'm glad to
This-
see her doing something.
yes,
like this.
this matriarch like
Yeah.
business lady badass it's a perfect role for her, and she
Perfect.
executes it
And
flawlessly.
She has a big part throughout the whole
Who's
show.
the girl in there? What superhero is she? The
The Starlight?
Starlight. Wow. You
Murray,
see
I
love her?
Freddie?
she is a new number one.
Really?
Oh my lord!
She's
Yeah,
super pretty.
Her,
You
her
know.
like kitty value sometimes I find like
She's
just a
very
smidge
petite.
obnoxious.
She's just a blonde, really
No,
very
no.
petite and
No.
cute.
Yeah.
And
Hell of a bowler.
Sassy. Hell of a bowler. That's fun. Yeah, I think it's good. Good.
I love Carl Urban in it too.
Oh, Carl
So
Urban is so good.
I've
he
liked
makes
him.
the show.
I really fell in love with him in the movie Red. I don't know if you remember with Bruce Willis.
No, I don't remember.
You should rewatch that movie because I saw it again a couple of years ago and it really still held up. But that's when I first got to know Carl Urban, and I love like his just kind of deadpan delivery just works perfectly for that role.
Yeah.
And I like hearing his accent unfiltered.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's great.
He sounds great.
Yes. He looks so gritty compared to the last
There was a
time I
character
saw
in there
him.
that said, "What's up with the
Yeah. Very
accent?"
gritty. Very gritty.
In episode 4, what's up with the accent? What's up with your accent?
Oh man. Yeah, he's fantastic, and
Such thick hair.
What is Red about?
it's
Red.
It's Bruce Willis is like a I want to say like a retired or spy.
That's what I thought
And
you were going to say.
he's got like a hit out on him, and he has to like fight back so that it's not the FBI, but whatever organized
Doesn't
government.
Red stand for something?
Yeah, and
Helen Mirren.
What is Urban
yes.
play?
Is Helen Mirren?
He is the FBI agent that is like none the wiser about the corruption that Bruce Willis is fighting against. So he's tasked to like bring Bruce Willis in, and Mr. Urban is like deciphering the plot and figuring out who's actually bad and who's actually good, and but it's a great story and like good action and a lot of good actors.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good. I think there was a sequel too.
Yes, there was, and actually that was pretty respectable too.
Isn't John Malkovich in it?
Yes, and I love John
Yeah,
Malkovich.
you do. Yeah,
so,
yeah. That is actually a really good movie.
But yeah, Morgan Freeman.
I don't remember. What is Carl Urban in that?
He's the FBI agent.
Oh,
he's like
okay,
the
so he's the
young
good
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, and
okay,
he
well,
thinks he's like in the good, but then he's like slowly deciphering this corruption that's behind the scenes that,
Yeah, he's way more gritty in this. I mean, he's totally gritty. And this is a really, really R-rated show, wouldn't you say?
Good Lord.
Yeah, it makes
super
you, like,
mature themes.
The first episode, like I know you guys spoiled it already, so I'm safe to say, but there was several like gut punch.
Yeah.
Like even original Robin getting ran through by A-Train.
Liquefied.
I feel like if you had a hidden camera on people's faces when they watched that scene, you'd inevitably have some gnarly facial expressions. You're just like, wait, what? Oh God.
A lot of open mouths too.
Yes, exactly.
Every episode has one.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, there's like a sexual assault.
Yes, and that, I mean, like
it goes pretty
dirty
mature
for her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's very relevant
Ugh.
right now, and like
for sure.
you don't want it to happen. Like even in the scene, you're like, no, but you're not. You're gonna fight back, right? You're not gonna do it, and then she does it,
and she does it.
Oh, and you're just like, ugh.
Spoiler. I mean, she's in the shower puking and comes out, just like totally.
And you just feel for her, and that sucks. I do agree with what you said about the outfits. That I don't,
let's have that discussion.
That they would be that gaudy for marketing and for PR.
But would they have to wear them all the time?
Right. I'm like, when you're just hanging out, like, in the office or for a business meeting on a Tuesday afternoon, I feel like you'd be just dressed down a little bit.
Do you ever, when they're bowling, I was going to say, do you ever see them out of their uniforms?
Right. She was out of
her
wasn't
it?
So
I'm sorry. That's farther than you guys have been.
We should actually.
You've seen bowling.
We should actually come to the next show in
dressed
a
up
superhero outfit. If you were a superhero,
Homelander.
It depends on your powers, I guess. But if you
just make it up.
If you were Superman, what would you wear?
What would you wear?
I mean, Batman. Completely different.
I'll come naked.
Superman could probably wear anything.
Yeah. Actually, that used to be kind of my
regular
go-to
clothes.
costume for Halloween if I didn't have anything else last minute.
What was it?
It would be like full black, like leotard style, and just I'm Catwoman or I'm whatever I said I was, but it was like I'm just a badass ninja.
There you go.
And sometimes I throw in a fake mustache.
I think I would go with a loose fit spandex. Something kind of loose and spandexy,
That's what you would wear.
It's what I wear at
Under
work.
Armour unitard, kind of, or
kind
what?
of.
I would wear tactical clothes.
Yeah, tactical.
Yeah.
Just.
And
Army.
boots. Mine would inevitably have badass boots.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I like the Punisher. I dress like the Punisher.
Lace up boots, calf high. For
exactly.
Sure. It's a must.
What you been watching,
Punisher,
Bill?
by the way, it's available now again on that old Punisher. God, I don't know the actor, but it's back on Netflix.
Which one? Thomas Jane.
Streaming. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. What have I been watching? Well, I got one that's really good. I'll tell you a couple of quick ones though before I deep dive into that one.
Deep dive.
If you like BoJack Horseman, you might.
No, I don't like him.
I do.
Don likes it.
See, Don, you might like Tuca and Birdie. So that's a new
Seen
people that did it.
Seen it, Bill.
Oh,
You've seen some of it?
Don
good for
sees
you.
all that stuff.
Oh,
Sure.
okay.
Love it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
So Tuca and Birdie, they're like, okay,
It's like
they go. BoJack, he's like a horse that talks. Okay, well in this one,
he's an actor.
everybody is an animal. She's a bird. They're both
Right.
birds, I think. Everybody has a head of an animal. And it's an office thing. And they're like friends in an office.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds kind of clever.
You've never
Like
seen
it could
BoJack
be.
Horseman?
I have. Yeah,
Okay.
I know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so you know the art. It's the same art.
Okay.
Yeah,
as
the
in that,
cartoonist.
except this is
Lisa-
like a female version of it.
Right.
Ah.
Both
Yeah.
of those character names you mentioned, Tuca and Birdie.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are both female characters, and they're hilarious buddies.
Oh, okay.
Just like BoJack Horseman has his hangers-on and a couple of guys, a couple of women, and his agent is a kitty cat, and they're all.
It's crazy. It's
crazy.
silly. There's. Oh, okay, she's harassed. In the office, somebody says,
okay.
I don't like your body.
Yes.
Her breast jumps off her body and walks away.
Whoa.
Okay.
Really?
In one of the shows.
Nice.
So it's kind of crazy there. Birdie is like an Asian bird, and then her friend, Steve Young from
Steve who?
Steve Young.
Okay, Yoon.
Walking Dead.
Okay.
He plays.
Sure.
He plays somebody in
Nice.
the office. So it's no.
If you like
might wanna check
BoJack
it out.
Horseman, BoJack
Yes.
Horseman. Now
Check it out.
the thing I love the first few seasons of that. That actually got to be so like melancholy and kind of depressing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I forget the name of the actor who's in there, who does BoJack.
Okay.
But he's classically, kind of like a melancholy actor, and it just got kind of sad, because he's like basically he plays a washed-up actor who's an alcoholic.
Oh,
But
great.
still has
You know.
money, so he lives.
Right, he lives
off
in a Malibu house on the hills and just has parties and is living off of his fame where he had a '90s show called,
Yeah.
which is like him and a little girl,
It's
like
very
a
clever.
Okay.
Very
like a-
clever writing. And,
Yeah.
and so is
Potential
Tuca
there.
and Bird.
It's great writing. It really is. I mean, you
It's all
actually
about
do
the writing.
connect with the characters.
Have you seen anything fabulous?
All right. Well,
Fabulous.
just one more funny one, and then I'll go. Whitney Cummings, Can I Touch It? Speaking about
Saw it as well.
sexual harassment. She
She's
makes
funny.
sexual harassment funny.
Her newest stand-up.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that too.
On Netflix, you can see
Ends
that.
with the giant sex doll that looks just like her. Right?
Oh my God, they spent some money on
They
it.
sure
It's
did.
really exact. So
Crazy.
That's funny.
check it
it's
out. Very funny.
Crazy.
On Netflix.
Uh-huh.
All right. Also now on Netflix, an original series. It was produced in Russia, so it has subtitles. But otherwise, they speak English. But I mean, it's dubbed, is what I should
Okay.
have said. It's called Better Than Us, inferring bots, as in robots,
Okay.
are better than us.
Haven't
So
heard of
it's
it.
a sexy sci-fi crime drama. Takes place in 2029. Yeah, so just 10 years from now, of course, we're going to have bots are part of our life.
Ooh, there's
They're
a-
security guards.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have this, but it's not to the point where the robots, they still look like on iRobot.
Yeah.
Those kind, except now Kronos, this big corporation that makes the robots, it's got this new version that, of course, looks real lifelike.
Ooh, I
Like
love
Westworld?
It. I love it, Bill.
Very Westworld. In fact,
Okay.
the production.
Is this
when
a
it
show
opens
or a
up-
movie? I'm sorry.
This is a 12. I didn't get to the end yet. I think it's like 12 or,
It's a series.
or 14. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Is that a doll?
that
is that an
she's the
android?
main lead. So they're showing a picture of this beautiful
I will watch
blonde
that.
lady, and she is the
Dave's
main.
in.
Ooh, look at
She's
that.
the main bot.
Ooh,
Cool.
scary.
And she was kind of illegally brought in from China because not only is she beautiful, but she's also dangerous. And she was kind of
Seems like it.
she was a reject.
Of course she is.
So he got him cheap. Anyway, they
Bangs. Love bangs.
so she somehow escapes from Kronos, and
Needs
they
a
do
little
a great
repair.
job.
There's some
Yeah.
action. There's a lot of action.
Oh, there's
apparently.
action in this.
She gets like totally destroyed.
Yeah, no, there's murder. There's it's a crime drama. It's
Did you ever see the show Human or Humans?
yes.
Great show.
Love
Right.
that. Didn't
It's
finish
like,
the second.
It's like Humans, except this would be a little bit more
you ever
high
see that,
tech.
Kelly?
A little bit
No,
more
I know what
special
you're talking
effects.
about though. I never watched it.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah.
a
Yeah.
good android.
So this is
Gotcha.
brand new, Bill?
Okay.
Just came out Friday.
Netflix original.
Wow.
All right.
So Friday morning, I downloaded it.
I'm definitely watching.
And this is downloadable. You can. I think this is good even just to listen because the writing
Oh, really?
is good enough.
yeah.
And then maybe occasionally, you look at your phone or something while you're. listening to
While
it.
you're working?
Yes.
Is that how you do that?
Well, or let's say you're doing jobs around the house or whatever. It's worth it. But it's a long, like I say, 12 or so stories.
Are they like an hour long or half hour long? Or?
About 40 minutes each one.
Okay.
I've been listening to a lot of movies.
I'll add that to my 10,000 other shows I have to watch.
And let me tell you that I listened to Rear Window.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Completely off the subject, but I listened to Rear Window.
No
I was
visual?
driving to Appleton. Don sent me on a mission the other day.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
And so I had to just drive 200 miles there and back. And Rear Window is not good.
Not audio only?
Without the visual.
Okay.
Well,
You were saying that who's it? Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. Wow.
He's
I mean,
really mean.
Really very politically incorrect.
Just saying some really nasty
Very
stuff.
nasty
That's
thing.
1950s.
What was the line that he said? It was like,
I mean, he was calling her, she was talking too much or whatever. Who's the star of that movie?
Oh, she was Princess
Princess Grace.
Grace. Princess Grace.
Grace Kelly.
Grace Kelly. there
Okay.
you go.
I mean,
Nice
he's
job.
telling her to shut up, and you're, it was really offensive to
abrupt.
me.
She's a nurse that comes to his
In
apartment
a
to
bad
take care
way.
of him.
Okay.
It was awful when you could just hear it without
You're like,
any
wow, you're a
visuals.
dick.
I was like, wow.
I said it sounds like it was really good acting. I mean, if it made that emotional connection for you.
No, but they were
Right.
still trying to make him, he's the lead.
Is he supposed to be
Sorry.
likable?
Yeah, I mean, of course he's supposed to be likable. It's his
Well,
movie.
We talked about how important music is for any
Mm-hmm.
thing. I listened to The Shining before we did the.
That is a
I
great.
downloaded that and just listened to it.
Isn't it fabulous?
Yes.
There's long
The
spans of
music
no
is
dialogue.
creepy.
Oh
and
my
yes,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
But the sound is so good in it.
Mhm.
The music and all that. And then when you
The
know,
dialogue.
I know it. I've seen it a million times, so
Right.
I kind of know what's going on.
Sure, sure.
And yes, obviously it's better if you're seeing it, but
I don't know.
totally okay to download that and listen to. If you want to just listen to a movie, The Shining is still kind of scary.
Yeah,
to listen
really
Yeah,
good.
this last time when we were going to talk about it, I listened to it more than I watched it. Like when I
Interesting,
rewatched
interesting.
it, I had it on in the background that I
That's
listened
interesting
to it more.
because when I watched it, and that was one that I watched fully because I rented it
With the
I-
popcorn
with
phone
the
off?
popcorn kind of phone off.
Okay.
And I noted how many scenes looked like it was all visual. I was getting there was so much silence, like when he's pedaling down the hallways and stuff like that. I'd like to see it or listen to it and get that version of it.
Well, I listened to again Better Than Us a lot, and also watched it, and so I could tell that the writing was. I can tell you the writing was good enough that you could just listen to it.
Okay.
And when you watch it, it doesn't. I mean, it knocks it down a notch in grade when anything's dubbed, because there's nothing like perfect. But it's very interesting. This is made and produced in Russia.
Yeah, that's
So this is-
interesting. You don't
so
know
You know,
this
that
like you're getting
much.
this good stuff out of China lately,
Yeah.
right? This is highly produced, special. The production value is so high. It's
Okay.
it would be
Special
like the
effects great.
equivalent of any first class movie that you'd see today.
Oh,
So you say it's dubbed?
Right. So they're
Oh.
instead of
So it's
talking
recorded
Russian,
in Russian.
they're you're right. They're English speakers.
Oh.
So it's not gonna match, but the same.
so
Yeah.
are these actors primarily Russian then?
Well, so
Yes,
So
right,
what
so-
about the voice actors?
right, so
I
the-
mean, so you're talking about
so
a
they're
dubbed movie. That's
Right.
that's a whole
That's voiceover
level of
casting.
movies. Right. That's like
Yes.
you get it obviously
and
in
I
a
will
lot
tell
of
you the
martial
dubbing
arts movies.
is good. And here's how I can tell. One of the main little actors is this little girl who
Okay.
actually that robot, that main beautiful robot we were just talking about.
Yeah.
She gets imprinted. Oh, you are my main user now.
Okay.
Just accidentally because of the way things come along, and she becomes
She was next to his Bluetooth,
something like
They got
synced
paired.
up.
right.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. It's a little bit funny how it happens. But anyway, this little child actor now is being dubbed.
See
And the
her.
child
Okay.
actress
Vitalia?
is so good.
Okay, well there
So
you
they
go.
did a really good job, Netflix did, in
That
all
adds
the
a-
actors.
That
The,
adds
uh,
a level to it.
That could really ruin it if not done
Right,
well.
yeah.
the
Totally.
main guy is like a doctor, and he's getting divorced, and
Okay.
this little girl comes with this robot and she becomes the babysitter. It's a very
Still worth it,
intertwining. There's many intertwining subplots.
Okay.
The main actor, he's kind of like Hugh Laurie, in House or in Night Manager. He's got this.
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah. No.
That's
Hugh Laurie.
Oh yeah, he was in. You're right. He played.
Right, and he kind of looks a little bit like him, and he also plays that kind of a part. Like, he's kind of a disagreeable guy, and this particular doctor he goes through the whole story, and you'll like it.
I'll watch it.
Good
Yeah.
actors.
I'll watch
clever
it.
writing.
You're still gonna watch
There you go.
All right, wrap it up. And,
What else?
What else have I seen? This one isn't quite as good. It was called Otherhood. Maybe you heard it advertised.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that with Anne.
Right. You'd figure,
We just want your A's.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear a B.
Kelly, give it a watch, maybe Kelly.
You know what? I wouldn't.
It's all strong female leads.
Yeah, you got Patricia Arquette, Felicity Huffman, Angela Bassett.
They all play women with adult sons.
Yeah, they're 30s.
Who-
They don't have
who-
grandkids yet.
Right.
They're not even married.
Right.
And
Terrible.
they don't send her a mother. They don't send her on Mother's Day. They don't send them a card.
Yeah.
I texted you.
It's good drama.
Pissed 'em
It's
off.
good drama if you like that kind of
So
stuff.
they're pissed
Yeah, I
off
think
his
Anne loves it.
I think I have too many things on my list
Yeah.
Yeah, way too many.
to make that to the top.
B minus C plus on
Yeah.
that one. All right.
Way too many. How about me?
Yeah.
What
What'd
have
you
I been
see?
watching?
Now let's get to the good stuff.
Let's get to the good stuff.
What's Dave
Everyone
been
wants to know what Dave's been
Yeah.
watching.
do.
Been watching Dave.
I think you've been
Infinity
watching.
War.
Hey,
Alita.
I got the shirt on.
Yep.
Mhm.
I watched Infinity War and Endgame.
Ooh, not back to back.
Still think Infinity War
Is
is better than Endgame.
Yeah.
You know what? I can almost see that because I watched Endgame last night, and it seemed a little long. It could have been because I watched it really late, but
Yeah, I'm sure
It
that's
was
it.
long.
it had great impact.
What
but
was it?
Oh,
I haven't
3
watched
hours?
Infinity.
Yeah.
So you
But
really
last,
like?
yeah, I
Infinity
loved it.
War.
I loved Infinity War
You like it?
is the best.
Okay.
Maybe Iron Man still could be the best, but
Infinity War just had such a great impact.
Yeah.
The way that it ends.
it's
like,
so
Right.
tight. It's so
Yeah.
tight.
It's a better movie, but Endgame is a closing
Infinity War wouldn't be
Wraps it all up.
Wraps it all up.
Right,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you need one to have the other.
Well, I feel dirty if I fast forward through Endgame. Like, you feel dirty, like, oh, you have to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I haven't watched it that much yet. Have you? Have you?
One time
Okay.
one time through. But last week
Eventually,
I
I'll fast forward.
did say I was going to watch
What else?
A Vigilante.
And I did as well.
And
Here we
that
go.
What are your
movie,
thoughts?
that movie rocks. It's only an hour and 30 minutes long.
Who's in it?
Olivia Wilde.
There
which,
you go.
shame on you two for saying she was married to Ryan Reynolds.
No.
No.
Oh.
Did I say that?
Well,
No,
maybe they
please.
just dated? I don't know.
I don't know if that's true, but Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds
Blake
are like
Lively.
the cutest Hollywood
Yeah.
couple ever. They like make fun of each
Oh.
other on Instagram and have adorable kids and stuff.
Now
but
he was
anyway.
married to somebody a long time. Wasn't it Alanis Morissette maybe or
Oh,
something like
sounds
that?
like it could be a valid
Both
statement.
Canadians.
Hey, one
But,
second.
but
anyway.
a vigilante.
One
But back
second.
to Vigilante.
1 second.
Sorry. Oh,
Yeah, this will be a
thank-
solid one.
There you go. I knew Bill was signaling me for
Good
something.
man.
So-
Thanks, Bill.
A good segue to start this one is that the audio is worth noting. There are
Really?
and I don't think you'd get away with just listening to this movie because there's a lot
Oh,
of
no.
spans where
Is
there's
this Netflix, Amazon?
Prime, Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you like live through her. You really feel her emotions. But there's many scenes where not a word is spoken.
Right.
So I don't think you get away with just.
Do you agree
listening
with
to
me
it.
where it's kind of a tough subject,
It is.
husbands abuse to their
Jeez.
wives heavily,
Right?
Like,
but what they did is they kind of jump into the movie
Yeah.
showing her as a badass right off the
Oh.
bat.
Mm-hmm.
what? Does that help?
And then, like,
does that help
it does.
keep
And then
going?
it helps because you're so hooked
Right.
on seeing her at full tilt.
Okay.
Because her backstory is so intense. It's
Right.
really gruesome
Oh
as
my
far
God,
as
yeah.
on the
Like the
scale of
abuse is,
domestic
like, really-
abuse. Yes, like broken bones. Really, really
Unbelievable.
horrific.
Like somebody's gonna,
Unbelievable.
like she's gonna
Yes.
get killed,
Yes.
possibly.
So
Well,
we're not spoiling
unless-
it, at least until you push a button here. But yes, her backstory was very, very gruesome, hard to swallow.
I was-
So,
Well, actually, the abuse was so bad that there was one point where her husband kind of mellowed down a little bit and was a little weepy, and I was like, he's kind of a pussy, actually.
Right? Like, I don't know that I necessarily saw him as the best cast choice.
No, you could.
I didn't necessarily believe
Carl
him to
Urban
be
would have been better.
that psycho.
I don't
guess.
know. Do we know him from anything else?
I didn't offhand. I feel like he looked a little familiar, but
He looked like Carl Urban, but a little different. You know, that dirty beard.
yeah, kind of scruffy.
Done some stuff.
Her husband's like the kind of guy that, like, you know, lives off the grid.
Yes.
Really.
One of those weirdos that just is
A
doing
weirdo.
some crazy shit that
Really, yeah.
people should
But-
know about, but they don't.
Very violent movie, and
I liked the music choices too. There was like part of the
I
score
don't
almost,
remember that.
which you'd call it. It's like there's like this percussive like beat going on in some of the moments where she's like about to kick ass that I noticed that were very like, you know, kind of brought the scene to a new level when there was no other sound going on. And I thought some of their choices were very interesting in sound. Like one moment where she goes to lunge at him and she's about to kick ass, it cuts and is completely silent. You're like expecting a big sound to happen, but then it's silent. They have a couple of very unique choices like that.
Is that to make it more realistic, or just for dramatic purpose?
Yeah, I think it was just dramatic. There was a lot of highs and lows, is what I noticed about the sound of this movie.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, it was. If you like Olivia Wilde, you should absolutely see this film because she's
good.
I mean, if it sounds good to you, do we have a synopsis of it? Possibly?
I think it's pretty simple too, and the arc of the plot is fairly simple too.
A vigilante helps victims of domestic violence by acting with severity against their
abusers.
Yeah.
She helps them escape their abusers.
And she was abused to begin with.
Yes.
That reminds me.
But she never loses sight of her own mission.
Did you guys see the girl in the spider web, Claire Foy?
I have not seen that, but I've seen some. I think I saw one of those.
Where she's hanging some guy up by his.
Yeah.
This one is good because it's short.
Yes, and that's what I mean. They don't do too much with the plot, and I like
short
that.
And sweet.
Yes.
Does it have a good ending?
That would be definitely a spoiler alert if we're gonna go there.
But I think you should watch it.
Okay.
I'd recommend it.
She is a badass, that's for sure.
How about, did you ever see Peppermint?
Way better.
Peppermint is better.
Peppermint is like
Vigilante?
Peppermint is more.
That's Jennifer Garner.
You know, that's like a fun movie to me.
Okay, right. More mainstream.
Mainstream.
Right,
like
this is
gritty, hard.
A little bit.
No, this is not. There is no comedic relief in this.
Oh, okay.
Really.
I mean, Peppermint is not comedic, but
No.
it's more for the general populace.
Right.
This is
It's
a little
like
more
mainstream vigilante.
Yeah, mainstream vigilante.
Yeah, this is about as
that.
good as you get.
Okay.
You don't want to go too much, but
I will watch it.
highly recommend it. I'd give it a B+.
Ooh, what about you, Kelly?
Yeah, I've seen the B range too. It was good, and I think part of it was just being short and sweet. It was a good punch,
Right, her.
figuratively and literally.
Yeah, definitely.
I like those. I like a good revenge movie.
Yes, and it's ultimately satisfying on a few levels for that. So.
What do we have coming up next week? Are we ever going to go back to the theater?
Ooh, what's out? I still haven't seen.
That movie that's like
Scary.
super bad, but even younger kids. What's it called?
Oh, that does look pretty
Isn't it
hilarious.
like The Boys or something like that?
God, we need to see that.
Is
Don't we?
It looks really funny. I probably won't see it at the theater though.
Yeah,
How about the Scary Stories? That one?
Yeah, what's that?
I know.
Yeah.
I was really
Guillermo
excited.
del
I was so
Toro.
close to going to see
I
that.
know.
We
And
are
I did
dropping the
not.
ball.
I really wanted to see Where'd You Go, Bernadette, but I can probably wait till that's out.
That also looks really good.
Well, a lot of these lately you can
We'll have
rent.
to see. We'll see what happens.
1985.
1985 is a good one though. The Goonies. One of my
Ooh,
all-time favorite movies.
I'm sure there are many more as well.
I'm not going to look them up this time.
Are you gonna watch
No.
something?
85, I mean, I was in heavy movie watching mode, so that was my year.
That was literally my year, because that's when I was born.
Oh.
What year?
85.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Well, that will have some meaning as well.
I was in basic training in the Army. 1985.
I don't know
Movie
what I
Chatter
learned.
Podcast at gmail.com. Send me a letter. I'm begging you.
Please do.
Love to hear from you. Tell us what to watch.
Instagram.
Facebook, Twitter.
Should we release any of those videos that I put on the YouTube?
Of course you should.
Should we do that?
God, please go to our YouTube.
Your burger time. Bill's shaking his head
Tequila
no.
lime burgers.
You didn't release those yet?
No, just the little trailers of them.
Okay. Oh,
It was like
yeah.
an 18-minute
It was just a
video
promo.
of you making a burger
Well,
on the
if
patio.
we get enough responses, then we will release it.
All right.
We have the trailers up.
Maybe next week.
YouTube. We're really pushing YouTube.
Well, if we go to see
do
a
more.
movie,
Yeah, we need to do a
if we go to see a
roadside
movie,
review.
then we'll do another one like from the car. Those are fun.
We should have done that for Once Upon a Time in
We
Hollywood.
should. That was the perfect opportunity.
We should actually do an episode completely from the car.
That'd be fun.
Like just
I
drive
like
around
it.
the neighborhood.
I like
Drinking
it.
coffee.
There you go. You've got a recorder, right?
We could do it.
Could do it.
I
Well,
like
we'll think
that
about
idea.
it.
I like that.
And then life happens and you never have time to do it.
We'll see you guys later.
All right. Later.
See you, boys.
10-4.
Later.
That's right. Just a quick wrap of what we had thumbs up for. For 1984, we said worth watching Nightmare on Elm Street, Body Double, Starman. Don said Ghostbusters still funny. Never Ending Story, Kelly said thumbs up, and also Romancing the Stone. Then we had a big thumbs up for A Vigilante, crime drama story that is on Amazon right now. Olivia Wilde. She helps victims of husband abuse type of thing. And stand-up comedy, Whitney Cummings, Can I Touch It? Kind of a funny, quick stand-up that I recommend. And a series now on Netflix called Better Than Us. And it's a sci-fi crime drama that I think you'd like. There you go. That's a wrap.
I like it. That was pretty
Nice.
good. We'll try it out.
Nice.
We're going to do it. Unedited.
Unedited.
Unedited. Nice, Bill. I was impressed
Yeah,
that you
that
had
was
that
good.
ready to go.
Yep.
Good job, Bill.
Good execution.
Taking
1
notes.
hour and 6 minutes.
That
Woo!
was good. That was good timing.
Hey, we're still
You guys were
recording.
awesome. Yeah, let me say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mwah, 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 mwah.
This is